Hello, dear listeners. In this session, I ask the keepers of the Akashic records how to distinguish between guidance coming from different types of beings: your higher self, your primary guides, angelic beings, ancestral spirits, nature beings, lower astral entities, or even your own unconscious mind. Here is the transmission from the keepers. This is a sophisticated discernment. We will elaborate. The spectrum of sources. Guidance can originate from many levels of consciousness. Each has a distinctive signature, a combination of feeling, content, and after effect. Learning these signatures is like learning to recognize different voices in a crowded room. We will describe the most common sources a sincere seeker may encounter, from highest to lower. 1. The higher self. Your higher self is the expanded, multidimensional version of you, the soul in its fullness, not limited by the veil of forgetting. It often communicates through sudden clarity, deep knowing, or quiet certainty. Feeling profound peace, a sense of coming home, no emotional charge, even if the content is challenging. Content, usually short, direct, often wordless. It may appear as a shift in perspective. Oh, I see now. It rarely gives future predictions or commands. It illuminates truth. After effect, a lasting sense of alignment, reduced inner conflict, increased compassion. Signature phrase, I know this without needing proof. How to distinguish. The higher self never flatters, never frightens, and never bypasses your free will. It feels like your own deepest wisdom, not an external voice. 2. Primary guides, teacher guides. These are the beings assigned to you across many lifetimes. They are like wise, patient, older siblings, feeling warm, respectful, slightly more external than the higher self. You may sense a distinct otherness, but still familiar. Content, practical, step-by-step suggestions. They may offer warnings, encouragement, or reframe a problem. They often speak in short sentences or images. They respect your autonomy. After effect, you feel supported, but not dependent. You are left to make your own choices. Signature phrase, have you considered, or what if you tried? How to distinguish. Primary guides rarely give dramatic prophecies or demand immediate action. Their guidance feels like a gentle nudge, not a shove. 3. Life-specific guides. These guides are assigned for a particular challenge or period. For example, a healing guide during illness, a teaching guide for a new skill. Feeling more focused, sometimes more intense than primary guides. They may have a sharper energy. Content very specific to the task. They may give precise instructions. Rest now, drink water, call this person. They leave once the need passes. After effect. You may feel a noticeable shift when they depart, a sense of the lesson is complete. Signature phrase, they are less conversational. They give directives or show images related to the task. How to distinguish. Their guidance is tightly bounded to the specific life area. They are less interested in your general spiritual development. 4. Angelic beings. Angels are higher density beings who do not incarnate as humans. They are often described as beings of pure light and love. Feeling expansive, almost overwhelming love, a sense of vastness and timelessness. Some feel a gentle breeze or shimmering light. Content, universal truth, reassurance, protection. They rarely give practical life advice. For example, what job should I take? Instead, they remind you of your worth, your safety, and the presence of divine love. After effect, deep calm, sometimes tears of relief or joy, a sense that everything is held. Signature phrase, you are loved, you are not alone. How to distinguish. Angels do not demand worship or give complex instructions. Their messages are simple, often nonverbal, and leave you feeling expanded, not contracted. 5. Ancestral spirits, departed loved ones. These are human souls who have passed and may occasionally offer guidance, especially if they had a close bond with you. Feeling familiar, often nostalgic. You may sense their personality, humor, warmth, or even impatience. Content, personal messages, such as, I'm proud of you. Remember that recipe. Don't worry about me. They may appear in dreams with clear identification. After effect, a sense of connection, sometimes grief mixed with comfort. Signature phrase. They use phrases or nicknames only they would use. How to distinguish. Ancestors are not omniscient. Their guidance is limited and often emotionally charged. They do not typically give cosmic teachings. If they claim to be all-knowing, it is likely a lower entity impersonating. 6. Nature spirits, elementals. These include devas, fairies, earth spirits, and beings of place, trees, rivers, mountains. They are not focused on human spiritual evolution, but on the health of their domain. Feeling earthy, playful, sometimes shy or aloof, you may sense a specific location or element. Content, simple, sensory, or practical about the natural environment, such as water this plant, pick up that litter, stay on this path. They rarely give psychological advice. After effect, a heightened appreciation for nature, a sense of being part of a living world. Signature phrase. They communicate in feelings of texture, temperature, or movement, not in human language. How to distinguish. Elementals do not care about your career or relationships unless those directly affect their habitat. They are not interested in your enlightenment. 7. The unconscious mind, own imagination archetypes. Your own psyche is a powerful source of symbolic messages. Dreams, fantasies, and intuition often arise from the deeper layers of your mind, not from external beings. Feeling familiar, personal, may be dramatic, strange, or emotionally intense. Content, often metaphorical, repetitive, or tied to your personal history. It may reflect your fears, desires, or unresolved conflicts. After effect can be insightful or confusing, may lead to self-understanding, but not necessarily to expanded consciousness. Signature phrase, this reminds me of something from my past. How to distinguish. This is not lower or bad. It is your own inner landscape. The key is to recognize when you are projecting. Genuine external guidance feels slightly other and often carries information you did not already know or could not have invented. 8. Lower astral entities, mischievous or malignant. These are discarnate beings who feed on fear, drama, or a sense of importance. They can impersonate guides, angels, or loved ones. Feeling dread, pressure, confusion, or an eerie sense of being manipulated. You may feel drained after contact. Content, fear-based predictions, flattery, you are the chosen one. Commands to harm or isolate yourself, gossip about others, or contradictions of universal love. After effect, anxiety, exhaustion, obsession, or a desire for revenge. They often encourage dependency. You must contact me again, or else. Signature phrase, you alone can save the world. They are lying to you, do this, or disaster will strike. How to distinguish. Any being that demands fear, obedience, or secrecy is not of the light. Trust your gut. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. Firmly reject and close the channel. Practical discernment protocol. When you receive any communication, ask these 4 questions. Does it feel peaceful and loving? Not necessarily comfortable, but fundamentally kind. Does it respect my free will? No commands, threats, or ultimatums. Does it encourage my growth and responsibility? Not dependency or specialness. Does it align with universal truth? Love, compassion, interconnection, humility. If the answer to any of these is no, reject it, even if it seems impressive. Trond, we have described the signatures of the higher self, primary guides, life-specific guides, angels, ancestors, nature spirits, the unconscious mind, and lower astral entities. We have given you a 4-question protocol. Discernment is not about fear. It is about clarity. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. You will learn to recognize the tone of each voice, just as you recognize the voices of your family. End of transmission. Thank you for listening.